talk about the characteristics. I am going to talk about very simple thing. You may think, "Arey, I know this." Agile adane pandrom. That's what we do in Agile. We break up things into small parts. We are deliberately keeping it simple because at the end of this, we are going to have you work in groups of 5 and come up with more in-depth things that you can do, and we're going to compile that wisdom, right? That's why we're giving you a taste and keeping it simple. We are leaving room for you as groups to come up with more detailed stuff, right? So break up work into small achievable tasks. For example, when I worked at Pfizer in La Jolla, California, we had this concept of fish cards. Not this internet suspicious phishing thing, taking your money away. Go into YouTube and look for the Seattle fish market, the fish philosophy, right? It's one fish market out of 100 fish markets in that street, like Grimm's Road, everything is auto shops, that place is, but this shop, though they charge more, they get 10 times the same size shop, they get 10 times the business. And that is about having fun, playing stuff at work. So what we used to do at Pfizer was, fish cards will be available with admin everywhere. Prem did something good, he introduced me, though he overemphasized my qualifications and all that. But he did something good to me, I can give him a fish card. Hey, thanks for a great intro. Thanks for being a wonderful MC at the PMI Chennai thing. If Parvez gives that to him, or Prem says, thank you Parvez for giving me this opportunity to be MC, right? Or Madan can say thanks for supporting me. Fish card. It becomes something immediate effect, right? Yeah. Now, at the end of the month, the admin says you drop these fish, so subordinate can give to the boss, not buttering on all of that, something genuine. You have to write why you gave the fish card to. Team member can give to another team member. Boss can give it. Even till today, Elva Pierce, my boss at San Diego, the fish card she gave me, I still have it. End of the month, it's dropped into a bowl, not a bowl of water because then the fish cards will get wet, but empty bowl. They pick up at random and give $25 prizes. The person with the most fish cards gets a $100 prize. Don't convert into 80 and all that. These are simple things. It can be a book, it can be a card, right? But the fact that I was given a fish card makes me happy, right? So that is appreciation. Yours, Deepa.
Okay. The next one. So serotonin, dopamine, serotonin almost seem like very rhyming words or something which are very soothing because they are supposed to be. Serotonin helps dopamine. It's again a feel-good hormone. Gets you the sense of well-being. Again, works very closely with dopamine. But the most important part of serotonin is mood stabilizer. So the mood of the team, the mood of the individual team members, whatever mood you all are, if you have heard people having bipolar, mood disorders, lot of it has to be done with serotonin. Serotonin is another hormone which generally excites you a lot. It can cause too much of excitation or it might cause too much of slumming down. You suddenly feel like you are off the track for a long time. Completely focused on mood stabilization. It is also a very important hormone which impacts a lot of your digestive, neurological functions. The sleep-wake cycle, lot of your digestive functions, day-to-day mobility, lot of the way in which you interact with others. Serotonin has a maximum impact. Not that dopamine does not have impact, that's not the case, but primary hormone secreted by the human brain is serotonin, and that has impact. Now what it also does is, it's like dopamine's cousin. It helps dopamine and stimulates its action when dopamine is getting excess. And it curbs dopamine down. But when dopamine is low, serotonin takes it up. So it works very close conjunction. So sometimes what happens is, if we interpret, okay, let me start giving serotonin and then dopamine gets fired. What is important is understanding how these two hormones are working with each other. Now that's not necessarily always true for the other two hormones which I talked about. So always remember, serotonin is very important for mood, as a mood stabilizer.
So what are some practical ways we can help production of dopamine? Serotonin, sorry. This is a snapshot of a meeting we had for the PMI National Conference 2012 held at Chennai. 2012, right? 30 volunteers worked for around 330 days. It was even till today considered one of the best conferences. 1200 attendees. Who's who was speakers? Sri Ravi Shankar, head of HCL. I don't know whether maybe Sundaresan was there at that session, right? Even till today, feedback, everything, right? So we went to an off-site at the end, after the thing was done. We did something called an appreciation circle. I wanted to bring mine, but each person had a small booklet, white sheets. Front is the entire team photo, and at the bottom right-hand corner was one of those team members. That is that person's book. We all went and took our book, and it passed it on to the people on the right side. Everybody wrote about what Karthik did as a chairman, what Parvez did as head of speakers, right? What Prasanna did as head of registration, right? At the end of it, I get a booklet with 30 people from my own team talking about what I did for the conference. Even till today, when I have a shitty day, bad day, I open up that book. I'm feeling goosebumps now when I say that. I read that, my mood gets elevated, right? Because this is what appreciation came from people in your own team, in their own words. 1 or 2 sentences. This is something you can do in your teams once a month. Simple A4 size paper. Write the person's name in the bottom right hand corner. Pass it along. 1 A4 size sheet. Right? People write 1 or 2 sentences. Fold that. Pass it on to, because you don't want to see what the other person wrote about that. Initially they may say, mother is always smiling. True. Dopamine rush?
Yes.
Okay. So, but it has to be true. Karthik, your hair is a nice mix of grey and no grey because I colored it 2 days back. Right? Then it is false. Karthik, you look so trim. False. Then flattery. It has to be something real, right? And then at the end of it, people get back 1 sheet. So initially people may have generic things. As we move along, we say specific things. What did you do in the last 50 days? 1 month. Then you start looking for good things the person did. And when you are appreciated for that, your serotonin levels rise. So that was the booklet. This was Lakshmi Varagan Desigan. This was our entire team for the 2012 conference. This is something we actually did. It was Kaushik's idea, right? Mentoring sessions, team mentoring sessions, buddy sessions, right? Appreciation, that boosts serotonin, right? Knowledge exchange of ideas and knowledge. Today all of you will feel serotonin, I am telling you. It may not blink as a green blink bulb serotonin on your brain. But you are feeling it because we are exchanging knowledge. You will feel it more when you do the group activity and share with us. So, quick quiz. Did you understand what we were talking about? What is happening at a team award ceremony? Which chemical? Dopamine. A team picnic. Second one? Serotonin. A performance appraisal.
How it goes.
Click the answers.
How it goes.
Okay, we'll talk about it. You have to click through again. That eagle is saying I have to blink my eyes. It's an eye saver tool. You have to click again. It will go through. Oh, it's asking to wait for 10 seconds. No problem. Okay, I'll just click this. Okay. It is dopamine, but we may revisit it.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
mean the fact that you couldn't answer that quickly itself is.
Okay, we'll talk about it. So, yeah, let's quicken it up a little. Yeah.
What's the most important? Oxytocin. And here is one small story, real incident. Suppose if you, when we were doing our internship in gynecology and obstetrics, suppose you are witnessing and actually delivering a baby from a normal labor. The mother can kill the baby instantly at the birth of the child. Oh, I'm not audible. Sorry. So, if we are talking about oxytocin, now the key factor for oxytocin is warmth, bonding, love. That is its property. It creates a friendship, kinship, romance, warmth, friendship, all these words. And I was just saying that during our internship in Gandhi Hospital, when a mother was delivering a child, I mean normal labor, after having undergone 24 hours of normal labor, with those labor pains, the mother can actually kill a child as soon as the child is born. Because the child is actually, the moment the child is out, the mother can actually take it and break that child. That is a level of pain that the mother undergoes in labor pain.
Not the husband, no.
We should be the other way.
He can kill the husband. He can beat him. She didn't beat me. The result is sitting here to the camera.
But the most important part is the mother actually can suckle at the breast within the first 5 minutes. The mother does not reject. Why? Because this is the hormone that gets secreted as soon as the baby is born. And it blocks all these receptors of the pain of the mother, and she does not feel the pain. Not only that, you don't remember pain. I would like to request anybody who in the audience, women audience who would like to share this. Your experience, have you felt that?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I could vouch for it, because the kind of in fact, I want to talk, maybe I'll make it short.
I'll keep the distance.
Yeah. See, the oxytocin, so when she was talking about that mother kind of feeling, right? So that is you have to feel that, you have to feed the baby. So that is the kind of thing which we are talking about, the breast. So when you are talking about it, so we need to teach these things in the school and the college level, because it shouldn't be seen as a kind of like to make fun of people, or it is a motherly thing. So I just wanted to emphasize that as a mother and also as a woman. So it feels really like I could go to that 2000 December 27th. So
endearment, that is the word. Anybody else who would like to talk about it? It doesn't necessarily happen after cesarean section, because cesarean you don't feel the pain. But after a normal labor, you feel that sense of endearment, and actually the mother accepts the child, and it is oxytocin, that hormone which gets secreted immediately after childbirth. It reduces anxiety and stress. A key hormone, because of all these words that we said, romance, endearment, warmth, the warm fuzzy feeling, it reduces the stress. And another thing is gender-specific impact, which is what I just now said. It acts different in men and in women. It doesn't mean that men do not have oxytocin. Men have a different action of oxytocin. Women have different form of oxytocin. And in their own ways, oxytocin works differently in men and in women.
And
so
I'll give some examples when we go to the next slide.
So oxytocin, remember that it is a key hormone for bonding, emotional support, emotional satisfaction, endearment, etc.
So what are some practical ways, not that we have to have pregnant women in our team all the time for oxytocin, I'm not making fun of it, but buddy system, we all do it. I'm giving generic things, right? Anytime somebody joins the team, make sure somebody is assigned a buddy. That person will help them through, right? Team activities like, have you heard of trust falls? A trust fall session, building trust in the team, is where I'll stand and I'll fall back. And there will be somebody, team member who will catch me. It requires a lot of confidence in your team member to know that somebody will catch you. That builds trust, right? So activities such as these that build trust, they bring in oxytocin, right? And also, right, when I joined Innovative Tech Systems on a product facility center in Philadelphia, right, way back in 1997, right, my boss said, Karthik, you may be an expert in Power Builder, but you don't know this product well enough. Don't stand on ego if you're struggling. Go and ask for help. Because this product you may not know as well. That is in the first month, right? Many times we may be struggling, we will not ask for help. Oh, I know this. I'll look weak if I ask for help. Whereas, a book that you should read, we'll give you a list of books later, Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last. He talks about some of these chemicals. He says a lady is going on a pavement. she trips and falls, the contents of her bag fall out. Immediately somebody nearby, not necessarily somebody like Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, somebody there, immediately helps her, puts the things back. She feels a flood of oxytocin, the guy helping feels a flood of oxytocin, as does the people on the other side of the street seeing this help happening. Oxytocin builds. So within our team, if we build that support system, we help build oxytocin.
And the last hormone, cortisol. Now, again, like other three which we have discussed, this is a fight or a flight hormone. It is a very strong hormone. It works, it's like a water of life. Its receptors for cortisol are present in every millimeter, nanometer of your body. Because it works when you are under stress. It creates a stress for you. For you to go ahead and chase a goal, because the goal is in front of you, so obviously you need some driving force, otherwise you probably don't move. But it helps you go and get that, but it also creates the stress in return. It's like I said, water of life affecting all body organs. What is very important is, yes, okay, so cortisol is a good hormone, it helps you, there is a goal, you go ahead and chase. Problem is, if you continue to have a continued stress in the system, in your team, in yourself, then cortisol never ever comes back to its normal level in the blood.
As in most employees of Twitter right now, they are full of cortisol.
Maybe,
not a joking point, true.
Maybe if you take a 8 AM, 8 PM level for them, but really, have you ever tested this hormone? If probably we say as a doctor, I say that we take a random 15% sampling of cortisol levels in all the leaders or whoever are delivery managers, maybe it's going to be high. What if you are under a continued stress? This cortisol erodes you of all the other hormone activities. So all that we heard just now about serotonin and dopamine and all of that goes out for a toss because this cortisol can bang it. So very important part is cortisol is important, but you should not have a continued stress in the system or in your body. This is most important part.
So just want to add fight or flight, right? So there is something called the half-life of a chemical. After how many hours is half of that chemical still in your body after that incident that triggered cortisol? You had an argument in your team. Half-life of cortisol is 6 hours. The incident happens, 6 hours later, half of that cortisol is still in your system. When you are under that stress and cortisol, will you be productive? Right? So, what are some of the things? These may look once again generic, right? Good conflict resolution techniques. We have rules in our team, right? If two people have an argument, make them talk to each other alone. If they can't agree, a team member comes in. Then it gets escalated to the project manager and focus on the issue rather than the person. Right? Just because Putin has a reputation, people think Putin is always wrong. There may be situations where Putin is right. I'm just giving an example, right? It's not the personality of the person, but that issue at that point. It may be a troublesome dictatorial person, but in that situation, I'm not saying Putin is right here. I'm not going there. I'm just giving an example, right? So similarly, for yourself, right? For yourself, right? What are some things you can do? Meditation. Right? They say exercise, which brings in another chemical called adrenaline, right? Exercise is supposed to be a great mood elevator. So on my phone, right on top, there is a Calm app. It's a free app. It gives guided meditation. Right? So those are some of the things that you can do on your own to reduce your cortisol levels. Because they say if cortisol is high, the body shuts down other functions. It brings down your heart, your liver, lungs, all of that to a lesser level because the focus is to survive there, speeding up. Yeah. So once again, checking which chemical is at play, beach cleaning by the team. What chemicals? Conflict, argument between people. Obvious, right? We are keeping it simple. We are good quiz masters, very easy quiz. Mentoring. Mentoring. Oxytocin, right? And now, performance appraisal. Depends, right? If it is going well, it could be the dopamine we spoke about, serotonin. If it is going badly, cortisol, right? So quickly, there are around 60 of us here, right? We are going to divide you into 4 quadrants, roughly 15 people each, right? Those 15 people will once again divide into groups of 4 or 5 people, right? So this quadrant here, up to this lady in red, you with red, right? This entire group here are going to handle dopamine. I'll tell you what you're going to do. This group from the gentleman in green here all the way till the end, right? You are going to handle oxytocin, right? You will handle up to you from behind. You will handle cortisol, and from you, including Dinesh, all the way up here, you will handle serotonin.
So if you
D,
need
yeah, we'll give you DOCS, dopamine. Make sure you understand what you're talking about. Dopamine, oxytocin, cortisol, also here. This is serotonin. What you're going to do is, within this group, divide into 3 or 4 people. 3 people is okay, right? There are around 15 people. It will be around 5 groups. Or if you want to do 3 groups of 5 people each, whatever way you want, that is fine. What you're going to do is, you now know you're going to be part of a group, right? You are going to discuss practical leadership actions. You're going to come up with, in this 8 minutes, we're going to give you 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, the 4 of you maybe, 5 of you, whatever, are going to come up with 2 or 3 specific actions that will boost dopamine in your team. Which we have not covered. We have covered 8 already, 2 per session, right? So you will cover specific actions you will, as a leader in your team, which will boost oxytocin. More deeper than what we covered, right? We already gave you something, don't repeat that. For you, cortisol, handling cortisol, right? And for you, serotonin. So you can divide it, even if it helps 5, 6 people, it's okay, right? And what we will do is, at the end, we'll give you every 2-minute timings, you discuss, right? At the end of 8 minutes, since we have a time shortage, we'll only have 1 group, right? We'll only have 1 group for each chemical, right? One from this set which will say, this is what we came up for dopamine, oxytocin, cortisol, serotonin. This is what we came up with actions, right? And for what about those people who are not able to actually discuss, we don't want that knowledge to be lost. So we actually have a Google form. We are not collecting or misusing any information. Even those people who presented, you can scan this QR code. It takes you to that Google form. You will actually type out 2 actions. So it basically says your email address. It is not, if you can enter and we'll email you a full results of everybody later. So you'll get stuff from everybody. It asks which chemical did you discuss, right? Your group's first practical session, second practical session. So even if you don't get, so obviously first come first serve, among this set, whoever raises their hand first, that group will present to us in around 2 minutes or less. These are the 2 that we came up with. Similarly, we'll do 1 for each for the 4 groups. Those who presented can also submit the form. Those who didn't present also, so then if you gave your email address, we'll email that collated list of all the suggestions and it will be a wealth of experience, right? So time starts now. You have 8 minutes. You understand who is there. You may want to time yourself, right? Discuss for 6 minutes, last 2 minutes. You want to decide who is going to present. Have somebody in your team to track your time. Even if it is ideally have to is okay, but so if it is too large, then you just break it up into
So we have to give two instance to actually create dopamine,
So we are already around 3 minutes in. Adding cortisol. We have 5 more minutes.
catching them right. Catching them right. See, normally leaders, right, we find problems when our people does something right. We normally catch them, tell them that you made this mistake, you did not do that. But good managers, you should catch people doing right. You never get appreciated for doing it right. Obviously, right? Suddenly, somebody will manager calls and says that you done something good. We get and also you will be I know I must once I need a support that you are very proactive. Problem never come only the problem come with another vote. This may be a nature style, but somebody maybe
Around 3 minutes left. Okay, around 2 minutes left. If I want to So you have 2 minutes left. You want to finalize, decide who will present or we have around 2 minutes left. Decide who will present. So you want to properly finalize, decide who will present. 1 more minute left. 1 minute.
I think that's the most convenient spot.
1 minute, please. Last 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds. Okay, let's close it. Okay. So, the team for your cooking, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to present the two. We would have loved to give more time, but 2 minutes to present. Okay, let's go. Any other team is ready? Okay, we'll go with oxytocin. You're doing oxytocin, no? We'll go with oxytocin first.
Team oxytocin, who is ready to present?
Oxytocin first. You can give it. What are your two things? 2 minutes. Maggi noodles, Madhi. 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 things. Ready? The rest you can submit on the form. The URL is there. Go ahead.
I am Vijay Prabhu for team Oxytocin.
Let's give him a round of applause.
So, 2 things we think count the list. Get well soon card for somebody who is sick for like 1 month or something. Yeah, that will boost their oxytocin, we feel. Next thing is any fundraising or like for a noble cause, when we come together as a team and collect, that is also increases our oxytocin. Then team get together, okay, like wishing for a birthday, anniversaries, all those things, family get together, all